The quietest firefly. Have you ever been in a big, noisy group and felt happiest just watching from a quiet corner? In a meadow buzzing with nighttime magic, a little firefly was about to discover that being quiet was his own special kind of superpower. In a field of sweet-smelling clover, when the moon was high and bright, all the young fireflies would gather to play Follow the Leader. The leader was always a bold and brilliant firefly named Flash, whose light was a bright, confident yellow, and whose flight was a series of dazzling loop-the-loops. All the fireflies would try to copy his flashy moves. All, that is, except for a little firefly named Lumen. Lumen was a quiet firefly. His light wasn't a flashy burst. It was a soft, gentle, pulsing glow. He didn't like being the center of attention. He was a watcher. He found joy not in being the brightest, but in noticing the little things everyone else was too busy to see. He saw the way the dewdrops on a spider's web sparkled like a diamond necklace. He saw the secret path the field mice used to scurry between the clovers. "Come on, Lumen. Join the game," Flash would call out. But Lumen would just give a shy little blink and stay on his favorite mushroom cap, watching. He sometimes wished he could be loud and flashy like the others, but his heart was quiet, and so was his light. One night, as the game of Follow the Leader was at its most exciting, a tiny baby cricket, who had wandered too far from his family, fell into a deep, the dark hole left by a gardener's spade. He was scared and let out the tiniest, saddest little chirp. The fireflies, with all their zipping and zooming and laughing, didn't hear him. Their own lights and sounds were too big and too loud, but Lumen, from his quiet mushroom cap, heard it. Because he was a listener. He saw the small, dark hole that no one else had noticed. Because he was a watcher. He knew Flash's big, bright light wouldn't fit into the tiny hole. He flew over to the edge of the hole. It was very dark down there. He took a deep breath, and then he did what he did best. He let his own soft, gentle, pulsing light shine. It wasn't a flashy burst, but a calm, steady glow that didn't create scary shadows. Down in the hole, the little cricket saw the gentle light above. It wasn't a frightening flash. It was a warm, hopeful invitation. "Hello?" the cricket chirped, a little louder this time. "I'm here," Lumen glowed softly. "Don't be scared. Stay right there." Lumen flew as fast as he could to the wisest creature in the meadow, the old badger. Because he was so quiet, he knew exactly where the badger's burrow was. He led the badger back to the hole, and soon, with a gentle paw, the badger had scooped the little cricket out and returned him safely to his family. Later that night, Flash and all the other fireflies came over to Lumen's mushroom. "We didn't even hear him," Flash said, his own light a little dimmer with humility. "We were all so busy being loud we didn't listen. You saved him, Lumen." Lumen felt a warm, happy feeling spread through him. He hadn't needed to be the flashiest or the loudest to be a hero. He just needed to be himself. He learned that the world needs dazzling loop-the-loops, but it also needs quiet watchers. Both are their own kind of magic. And while the little firefly learned the superpower of being a quiet observer, a little girl in a cozy bedroom was learning a very different lesson about what happens to the world while she is fast asleep. Subscribe to Storiella so you don't miss her magical sleepy time adventure.